Buongiorno, and I am not messing around. Just take a look at this. A very special New Day Cleveland, folks. We are on a tour of northern Italy, heading up to Torino, and then down the coast to 5 beautiful little villages called Cinque Terre, and then through the hills of Tuscany and Chianti. It is going to be beautiful. Thanks to our friends at Canary Travel and Colette. Let's get this party started. After landing in Milan, we boarded a bus to head to our first stop on our Italian tour, the city of Torino, located in the northern part of the country, surrounded by the French Alps.
So the Holy Shroud, a few questions about the shroud.
So our wonderful adventure to Italy starts with the voice of an angel.
Oh!
Well, we are here in Torino, and I thought it was Turin, but it's not, right?
No, it's not Turin. You have to call it Torino. Torino, because the toro is our symbol, you know? The strong toro, the strong bull.
The strong bull.
Yeah.
So we landed in Milan.
Yeah.
And Milan, to the people who live here in Torino, in Cleveland, it would be like our Pittsburgh. It's a rival city, isn't it?
It is a rival city. They are our competitors, the competition city, because here in the north we had two big industrial cities. Torino was one of them, but today it has become one of the most visited cities in Italy, thanks to the fact that it was discovered with the Winter Olympics in 2006. So today it's not the Fiat city anymore, the car city anymore, but it has become a much attended city by the Italians as well.
To me, it's like discovering treasure, because when I thought of coming here, I had no idea how the city would unfold, what it would be like. Like, it's not an ancient city. It has a different kind of history as we walk through all the different
Sure. The whole of Italy is ancient, but Torino has got a different story because it is the city of the kings of Italy, of the kings that become kings of Italy after Italy was united under the rule of the king of the Savoy family, who was born in Torino. And we see the building where he was born, and the other buildings belonging to the royal castle of the Savoy family that are part of UNESCO World Heritage.
In the Holy Shroud here?
And the Holy Shroud is the other topic about Torino. We keep the Holy Shroud in our cathedral. You cannot see it, only it can be seen only with the displays, with the official displays of the shroud. We see when, we don't know yet.
You introduced us some incredible architecture, all different stories and wonderful things, and then we jump on the bus, and your tour is so wonderful. People are captivated by that. Sometimes I wonder, like, boy, it looks like it might be boring. You are captured by your conversation. And then we move into this area along the river, the longest river, the biggest river in Italy.
It's the longest river in Italy, yeah. It is the River Po, 750 kilometers. So it ends its course in the south of Venice, but before it goes through the whole northern Italian plain. And we also have the mountains that go through the whole northern Italian plain, the Alps.
We talked about being close to the Alps, close to France, and they have snow here in May, which we can relate to. It happens to us once in a while. But they come over on this side of Torino, it has that French feel. It has
It has a very French feeling. We are halfway between Rome and Paris.
I want to thank you on behalf of all the New Day Cleveland viewers and myself. Your introduction to Torino has been fabulous, and it's hard to believe it's the beginning of the trip, but it's the highlight right now. It's going to be a tough competition for the rest of it.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
We hope we welcome you to Torino. More and more people. We are glad you enjoyed it.
Welcome them to Torino.
We should, yes. I think we had a great flight over, so everybody's very excited.
It's been unbelievable. Daniela, Canary Travel, would get us on a plane. We jump on the plane in Cleveland, and here we are in Torino, which is in the north part of Italy.
Yes.
And I did not know much about this area. Canary Travel knows a lot about a lot of places to travel, but they know how to hook up with the right group. And we're with Colette, which has been around over 100 years. And we have had the most amazing first couple days here. It's been fantastic.
It has, even from our flight to getting to the airport, our drive, which wasn't bad, an hour and a half from Milan, can't beat that.
Yeah.
Laura from Colette has been amazing, so.
How about our driver? We have our own bus. We keep it the entire trip we're here. How many days are we here, the whole trip?
We are here a total of 7 days.
7 days.
7 nights, 8 days.
Yeah, and this is the first time in my life ever I have gone with somebody where you walk around and somebody tells you about what's going on. You got a little microphone and a little thing in your ear and you're listening, and that has been a gift, hasn't it?
It has. It's nice to be able to listen and then pay attention to everything else going around too. So you get the best of both worlds.
So I'm starting to call us the Fabulous 41. That's how many people are here. 41 people on this tour, and they count us, keep track of us. But when we took off into Torino, we had no idea what this city was about. You talk about, we flew into Milan. This is the beginning of how many big cities are we going to?
So not necessarily big cities. We're getting into some of the smaller, more intimate cities of Italy, I feel. We do hit Florence, but we get into Cinque Terre, we get into Tuscany, so some really great small places.
The idea of discovery and finding new places, I mean, these are ancient places, old, wonderful, beautiful places, but the idea of discovering them is fantastic. But even better than that is when you have somebody to tell you how this came together and what it's about and what it's like and how it's changed and how it's growing.
Yes, that's what we're here for. We try to give everybody the best experience that they can have and truly, like you said, experience those little cities.
Yeah. So we're standing here with a glass of wine. You can't come to Italy and go anywhere without ending up with a glass of wine in your hand. How about that?
That is correct, yes.
How was the food?
Food has been fantastic.
So we put together a couple dinners. I thought that was great. Colette did that. Canary Travel helped us with that. So we have transportation. We have somebody to tell us what's going on. We have people to help us translate, and so we understand what's going on. I don't feel like I'm being herded around at all. I don't feel like I have to go somewhere. I don't feel like I have a commitment.
Yes.
I just feel like, man, I'm free. I'm on vacation, and for the first time, I'm learning about stuff I never knew about before, and it is beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is the beginning of the trip. This is one of our first encounters, right?
Yes.
Let's click them up to Canary and Colette and to Italy. Well, it's late in the afternoon. I know it's past the shopping hour, but here in Torino, you might be able to find a little street shopping, so let's give it a look. Okay, the best thing to do is just start looking around. You find a great street, all that's great stuff, and you bring this out. If it's afternoon, let's see, afternoon. Here we go. Buenos Aires. It's a great way to talk to people, but the most important thing is, come on, let's take a look. Street entertainment. I gotta tell you, in Italy, it's about the bags. Stuff here, and that's when all of a sudden, here's the beat right here. Here's what you need to know how to say. Shopping. How much does this cost? Quanto costa? Five. G5. Necklaces. Here? No, it's not here. It's bandanas. Anything you want, everything you want. Like shopping for a pet. You could even get a pet here. Speak English?
A little.
Little bit? Italiano? No Italiano.
No, Italiano.
So how do you say how much? How much for the cat?
The cat, 12.
12?
12 euro.
Quanto costo?
200,
200?
80,
80?
9.
Okay. And then I was asking you, is this from Italy or France or
France.
France,
yes.
because it's softer.
Softer, and the price is little.
So when we first came in, she goes like, I don't speak English. I said, well, I don't speak Italian. So we both know a tiny bit of French, and together with some money in my pocket, Kim's got a brand new white coat. Grazie.
Prego.
Still ahead on our tour of northern Italy, a taste of the region through wine. Once we wrapped up in Torino, our next visit took us through the hills to visit the small town of Lamora. Okay, so we jumped on the bus out of Torino. Check this out. Just made this walk up there. If you listen closely, you can hear my heart beating right now, right, everybody? That was really something, but what a beautiful ride up here. Hazelnuts, all kinds of hazelnuts down there, and Barolo wine, some of the most beautiful wine in Italy. But more beautiful than that, check out the view. Welcome to La Martina. Is that right?
Yes,
And you're
correct.
Christina.
I'm Christina,
Who's
yes.
Martina?
Martina is my daughter.
And is your daughter. And we're here at a beautiful winery. We're a couple hours from Torino. And we're just on the top of the hill. Lamara, big, beautiful place here. But here we're having a great time. How many wines did we taste here?
You tasted 8 wines. Here we are in UNESCO Heritage. So our hills became UNESCO Heritage since 2012. And our wines are the wines of the area. Moscato d'Asti DOCG, the king of our area. And then we have the Chardonnay, Barbera d'Asti DOCG, Barbera d'Asti DOCG Superiore, and some other vermouth, limoncello, and grappa.
What she's saying is a lot of really good stuff. And boy, do we have a good time here too.
Uguale sia per il metodo classico, sia il
It was your father that was introducing all the wines?
Yes.
And he speaks all Italian, and he was back and forth, and sort of the translation of everything really makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah, my father likes to have relationships with people, with tourists, because he is a wine professor. He retired some years ago, and now he is happy to transfer his knowledge to people.
Boy, folks had a lot of fun too. You ever talk about having a light lunch? A light lunch here means like you're here all afternoon having one course after another, after another, after another. And how much fun did your dad have explaining and telling us about all these wines?
Yeah, he likes a lot. And also he would like to explain his knowledge in growing the vineyard, in producing wines.
Sure. So this is 6 generations. So this is Christina, as we said, and the place is called La Martina. And Martina is?
My daughter is the last and 6th generation.
So she's picking up the grapes, so to speak, and heading on with it.
Yeah, she wants to become, the last, but not the last. To continue the tradition of host people, host tourists, and growing and producing wine.
It's a beautiful place. I thought maybe a good idea. Maybe we could go outside. I'm going to go find her, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to you.
La Martina, right?
Right.
Martina, so this is named for you.
Yeah.
6 generations. I was talking to your mom.
Yeah.
I saw your grandpa. He was so proud of showing all the products.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get the company, you had the vineyard.
Yes.
And you're taking another direction too. Like we got all the great wines already, the grappa. I love the
Good.
beautiful stuff. Tell me about what are the little jars that you guys have that you're selling now?
So the little jars are typical products from our land. So we make it with natural ingredients from the area. So we have jams, bruschetta, and hazelnuts creams, hazelnuts products, because here in this area we produce mainly wines and hazelnuts. So it's typical from Piedmont and especially from our land in Canelli.
Yeah, what a great way to entertain too. So we show up here with 41 crazy people from Northeast Ohio, and we know we're going to a wine tasting, which was beautiful. But boy, did they love getting those little pieces of bread and trying each little tiny thing.
Yeah.
You had the truffle oil. You really relate with your grandpa and your mom now. Like this is part of my life, part of our culture, part of our heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So what's your favorite wine that you have?
I don't drink a lot of wine, but Moscato is my favorite because it's very light and fizzy, and it's great for desserts and for celebrations.
Yeah.
For birthdays, we always drink Moscatos.
Well, I want to thank you for that because you were saying, oh, we're going to have a little light lunch. We're going to have 8 tastings. The party back there is a pretty big party now, thanks to you guys here
Thanks.
at La Martina.
Thank you to you for being here
Yeah,
with us.
thank you so much. It's wonderful. Great part of our journey here from New Day Cleveland. I know we got 41 people out there from Northeast Ohio who are very happy campers.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you to
much.
you.
Here I am in Italy having the time of my life. I'm with whom?
With Laura.
Laura. Laura is our guide. She is our savior. When we landed here in Milan, you were there waiting for us. We went through customs. It was very easy. Popped out in the open, and when you walked us to our bus and you got us to the first stop, what was our first stop?
Yeah, that's my job. I'm a tour manager, and that's what I do. I try to save souls all around Italy. I have my guests arriving at the airport, I meet them, and I lead the tours all over.
We started in Torino. I thought
Correct.
it was Turin, but I learned it was Torino from another one of your friends, another guide. And when we started this trip, we didn't really know how it was going to go because I've never really done a trip with somebody showing me around everywhere. And I would have been blind and lost without your help, I think.
I think so. Italy is a hard country if you don't know where you're going, but that's why I'm here for.
Yeah, she even gave me a piece of paper that told me how to ask for help, say hello, tip. Oh, what tip? Maybe no tip, maybe a little tip. Well, all these little things you don't know.
Let me just tell you again, we are getting off in Vernazza at 10:23.
You sort of guided us to the beginning of our trip and then let us grow on our own after.
Of course, yeah, that's the part of the experience, part of the Italian culture that you have to do whatever we do. So I give you little hints and then you just improve every day.
Yeah, and you know another thing, a lot of us, like we've got 41 people, counting myself. We've come on this beautiful trip, and thank you for the help once again. But we really learned so much about how Italy is not like one big country. It's not spaghetti and meatballs. It's not this. It's not. It's correct. Every little region is its own place.
That's correct. We are very connected to our own little region. We have our own cultural tradition and enogastronomical. That means food and wine tradition. Each one is so proud of their of what we have or what our special region has to offer.
So I've been to Florence before, I've been to Rome before, and I've never been up north here, and I just learned so much about how to be, what is, what to enjoy, what to ask for, what to expect, all those things that, well, you have to be Italian to understand.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, as I said, it's a lot of differences between north and south, between region, among all the regions. We have 20 different regions here in Italy. And yes, everyone, as I said, it's so rooted to the tradition that we like to keep going with those kind of tradition. And so in Turin, you have to try the bagna cauda. In Genoa, you have to try the pesto. In Naples, the pizza, and so on.
So Laura is the conductor of the orchestra. And as we go along, we meet new guides in each area who are specifically knowledgeable about that area. So it's really, you get the bird's eye lowdown on every little thing there is to enjoy.
Yeah, I give you the general knowledge. Then every time we go somewhere, we have the local guide who's going more specifically into the local culture.
That's probably why Colette's been around more than 100 years.
Probably.
Doing it right. And I'm telling you, it's like having a best friend with the entire time, too.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
When we come back, we visit one of the most iconic sites along the Italian Riviera. Our next stop took us down the coast of the Italian Riviera to visit the 5 villages of Cinque Terre, known for its iconic views and very unique terrain. So we made it on the train. We're here at our first stop in Cinque Terre. Did I say it right?
Yes, more or less.
More or less.
Cinque Terre.
Cinque Terre.
Okay.
How about that? This is Karen, and she is our beautiful guide, wonderful guide. And what are people most surprised about here when they enter this village?
Well, mostly how people could have ever made a living out of such a difficult land, because it's also rough, hilly, steep, complicated. So that is the thing that most astonish people, including also the fact that we are visiting seafaring villages, but we are in a farming area where a wonderful wine is produced, the wine of the Cinque Terre.
One of the things that surprised me most was I saw the beauty and the romance and all the things I don't know about it, but what I learned in a big hurry is that walk up the hill. How many steps to the top to see all the beautiful terraces?
Never counted them, but if you walk from, say, Monterosso to Vernazza, you have to count at least 400 steps. If you want to visit the village of Corniglia from the train station is almost 400, 370. Some steps may be flat, like the ones we just walked, but like the steps from Monterosso to here are like this high. And when I walked them, I mean, my shorts are slightly short, and I had some troubles. Not to mention the fact that I'm afraid of heights, and when you are all the way up there, some parts can be hard for vertigo.
The terraces are beautiful. In this church, we've seen a lot of churches, and this is very different, isn't it? It's almost like an outpost.
So much, because, well, it underwent so many changes. And it's very special because it's simple. It's really the simplest churches that you find in the Cinque Terre, which I think give the most of the local spiritual life and the spiritual culture. You have to appreciate the fact that the people of the Cinque Terre are very different. They have lived in isolation for a long, long time. And so they don't like to show off. They seem sometimes maybe not so friendly, but it's their way of being.
It's their world. Cinque Terre. I love the way you say it. It sounds beautiful. This is our first stop, so we're going to go to the next stop. What's this next stop?
Monterosso, which is just, if you turn back, you see the village over there?
That's where we're headed.
Yes.
Okay,
exactly.
I'll see you there.
I'll see you there.
It was a wonderful little train ride from the other village. It only took 4 minutes.
4 minutes, which is the shortest distance between the Cinque Terre. The longest is like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about this, folks, is in the other village, we climbed up and down hills the other place.
Yep.
For the people who go, oh, they come here.
It's
really
more
relaxed.
Yes.
But it was really interesting to get off and see the bunker from World War II.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this plays a big part of history here.
Yes, there is. There is quite a bit of history. Maybe it's not the large, big history with a capital H, but we have so many episodes from World War II, from, well, the construction of the villages in the Middle Ages. There are stories about pirates raiding the towns.
Oh, yeah. We talked about food a little bit, and you said you'd be very disappointed if people don't try what?
Local wine, first of all, and the pesto.
The pesto, because the basil, you walk around, you can smell the basil.
You can smell the basil, yes. And the basil is, pesto together, is the most common way to season pasta, to dress pasta. And you can also put it in your vegetable soup, never ever cooking it with the soup. You have to add it at the end.
I love a little cooking lesson here. A little shopping here, a lot of great things going on. And for the 40 people I'm traveling with, Lude Cleveland, and me, I make 41. Thank you very much for a beautiful
Thanks
tour.
A lot. Thanks a lot.
Daniela, the sun is out.
It is.
I call her Daniela now because we've been in Italy so long. And we're at, how do you say it?
Cinque Terre.
Cinque Terre. So we're at 5 villages. And you know what? We've never been able to discover the 5 villages without the help of
Colette, Canary Travel, put it all together.
I got to tell you something. I was never one of those guys that said, hey, let's walk around with a little headphone and see what's going on. You learn so much in just a couple hours.
You do.
It was great.
It's a nice mix. You get the guidedness of it, but you also get to be on your own and go out and explore and really sit down and enjoy lunch.
Yeah, and lunch was great too. You know, we were wandering around, checking out every place as we were being guided around. And then they turn you loose and they just say, hey, we'll see you in 3 or 4 hours, and We'll go on to the next thing.
Yep.
So being organized is really comfortable and really nice.
It is, and these are small villages that you feel good leaving and going out and exploring and, like I said, doing lunch, shopping, and get the full experience of being in Italy.
After the break, we explore the medieval city full of history and Italian culture. Next, we made our way into the region of Tuscany with a visit to the walled city of Lucca, rich in Renaissance history. Here we are. Somehow we got into the most beautiful city that we visited so far. I don't think they like to hear that if we were in Florence or we were in Torino or something like that. There seems to be a competition between the cities, and Lucca is what? The best?
The most beautiful town in Tuscany.
And it's always been sort of an independent, it's almost like its own country a little bit.
It has always been a free republic from 12th century to 1799.
And I think it may be because everybody smiles, just like Vittoria. So Vittoria, we come in here and, you know, we got the flag. I was looking for the Colette flag. At the bottom of the Colette flag, I find the most smiley person I've met since I've been to Italy. And it's been beautiful. And you've told us many stories about it. How is it that Lucca has been such a safe city and independent city for centuries?
Because Lucca was a very rich town, and Lucca could also build the city walls that could defend the town. And Lucca had no policy of expanding, but maintain the wealthy inside of the city walls.
You know, I've been here before, and I came before one time, and I had a map. And I was like looking around, I'm looking at my map, I'm looking at things, and I'm looking, it's beautiful, but I never learned anything. You know, I didn't know how and why and where and all that. But you at the bottom of the Colette flag, boom, you get it all, don't you?
Thank you.
How long was our tour, and how big an area did we cover?
Well, we went about 2.7 kilometers in a circle, taking about 2 hours, stopping in some of the most important places. I think high sites.
You have a real sense of pride for Lucca, don't you?
Yeah, it is.
Is this where you grew up?
Yes, even if I was born outside of the city walls and live outside of the walls, but this is my town.
When did the city begin? Like, how did it begin? When did it begin?
With the Roman period, 2nd century before
So
Christ.
2nd century.
The Romans led the construction of the town of Lucca and still existing nowadays.
And you know what else I noticed too, and I'm walking around, we've been in several cities so far, Lucca seems to be, I don't know, more wealthy, nicer stores maybe? Is there more like a past history of money here in Lucca?
Let's say so, also because of actual products, agriculture, which is also very important for the town, and the territory so offers many big opportunities.
We saw marble when we came in.
Yeah.
And so I imagine some people made money with that, but you were talking about silk. Like silk was a big thing here, and that's where a lot of the great fortune came from.
Yeah, Lucca started with the production of silk, first introducing silk from China at the end of the 14th century. Lucca had its own production of silk. And so consider, inside of the city walls, with 8,000 inhabitants in Middle Age, Lucca had 3,000 looms. And that's really an industrial production of thinking about the Middle Age and that period. I think it's really fascinating to know how it was.
It's fascinating for me too. Like Colette got me to you, and I'm learning all this great stuff. And I learned the most important fact about my journey here to Lucca, the Great Walled City, started in the 2nd century, was what do they produce now that's most famous for all of us?
The toilet paper.
Toilet paper! What do you think of that?
Oh, 80% of toilet paper comes from Lucca.
Very important.
Good business, yeah?
Yeah, you're lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you too for coming here.
Hi. Today we are going to cook the simplest pasta that in Tuscan, spaghetti. You wash here. Aspetta, Ora si fa le postazioni.
Room number 30.
To start the pasta that we produce we always sit there.
So now we saw the expert do it, and now our folks here, the New Day Cleveland viewers, get their shot at making pasta. That one looks like my neck in the morning. Goodness, isn't it?
But we're a disaster together.
Pasta or bread?
The more you order. What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't have much room here. Move over.
That's the key. That's what he said.
You good? Excellent. We did a good job on it. We did good. We were good cooks.
It was very good too. And I'm planning on cleaning another plate of that.
Still to come, a tour of Florence and the Italian Renaissance. As we continued our journey through Tuscany, we arrived in Florence, a beautiful city known for many things, including art, architecture, gold, and even leather. Caught up with another lady with the Colette flag, and we're in Florence. And how do you say Florence in Italian?
Firenze.
Firenze. So we get that a little bit, and then how do you say your name?
My name is Marzia.
Marzia.
It's an ancient Roman name from Mars, the god of war.
The god of war?
Yeah.
Well, she's very gentle for being the goddess of war, a representative of. Hey, so we're walking around here in Florence. Everyone talks about Duomo, and talk about Statue of David, and I see a lot of people here doing gold shopping. Is gold a big part of the history of Florence?
Gold is a big part of the history of Florence because as early as 1200 we have very specialized artisans producing our coin, which was pure gold and was called the florin. And we still produce it today. So these artisans developed skills, and still today they are producing wonderful jewels.
You have no diamonds here. This is just 18 carats white gold.
The traditional Florentine jewels are those combining the three colors of gold, pink, white, and yellow.
And much of it's 18 karat, yes?
18 carats, mostly 18 carats. Yeah. Only recently they started with 14 carats because it's less expensive.
Well, it's expensive.
But normally the perfect jewel will be 18 karat because it's hard enough.
So is it my imagination? I thought I'd smell steak or pizza or something like here, but I think I smell leather.
Leather, it's another one of the two major productions of Florence. Even leather, it has an old tradition. They started to work leather around the monasteries. For instance, in this church, we still have the leather school, which goes back in this case to after the war. You know, when they wanted to give the orphans of the war a possible job for later, they started to teach those young people, and the leather school still functions today.
We talk about the gold, we talk about the leather, but a lot of the people here, my New Day Cleveland guests, keep talking about the food. What is the food of Florence?
Okay, well, we have one typical dish that it's becoming a little bit out of fashion because it's meat. And you know that the majority of people now are becoming vegetarians. So we have this Florentine steak.
How thick is that steak?
It's about 3-4 fingers thick.
And how do you order? Medium rare, rare? How do they cook it?
Normally it's very rare.
Very rare.
If you prefer it a little bit more cooked, you can ask for medium. Yes.
So when we see one of these big steaks, take a picture of it. How many people to eat one steak?
Normally it's 2 or 3 because it's over 2 pounds of meat.
What makes this church so important?
Now this church is Franciscan, and it's important for us Italians because we call it this the Pantheon of the Italian glories due to the quantity of people that are buried in this church. Famous people from the past like Michelangelo, he's buried over here.
No kidding.
Galileo Galilei, the great astronomer from Pisa. Niccolò Machiavelli, politician and writer. Gioacchino Rossini, composer. And then we have a cenotaph dedicated to Dante Alighieri, which is also represented over here at the corner of the square.
The ways of Florence. Delicious, beautiful, wonderful. Hey, thank you so much, too. You learn so much just walking around with you for a few moments. It's irreplaceable.
Thank you.
You're like gold. Thank you. I want to introduce you to one of my little friends here. This is an olive tree, and everywhere you look here in the Chianti region, you see mountainsides full of olives. But you know what? There are a lot of different things you need to know about olives that we can learn right here at Brunetti. This is a great stop.
Where the olive paste were going to be pressed to give you the olive oil. What is crushing? Hammer. Extra virgin is pure olive juice.
This is the guy you want to talk to if you want to learn anything about olive oil. What were the 3 most important things you told us today?
Well, that you should always try to taste what you're going to use, that you should match olive oil with the food you're having, and that you probably should know a little bit better about the brand that you're trusting in.
That's it. And stay away from the cloudy olive oil. And always put a cap on it, right? Yes. Always put a cap on it. So I see people right now, our 40 guests are out here walking around trying to figure out what to buy. How do you get this home, and how can people get it delivered to their house?
We work a lot business to consumer. So from the website, from here in the company, you can easily get a case your door in 7-10 days, and you're choosing the ones you love more.
Yeah, this is one of those things. We go to wineries a lot, so you go to a winery, everyone's wine is a little different, whatever, but I think what you taught us about olive oil is almost like learning about chemistry and the way you cook and balance taste and food.
Absolutely. Food matching and olive oil have to stay together because olive oil is part of the food. It's an ingredient, it's not just a color.
Took me to school today, man, and I loved it. Thank you very much. So, thanks. When we return, our journey through northern Italy continues with some small town food and shopping. As our visit through northern Italy comes to an end, one of our final stops included a wonderful surprise, the city of Greve in the Chianti region. Check it out, we're in Greve in Chianti. Chianti is the big wine region, right? So we're in the square, looks more like a triangle, right? But you're gonna see things around this little square shopping that are just incredible and beautiful. Like this is a real surprise. If you can keep up with me, this is gonna be something. It's gonna blow your mind. This guy, the big guy, the boar, he plays a big part in this side of town. You always hear about the salamis, the bistecca. Look at that, that's that beautiful big bistecca. Well, how about prosciutto? Look up a little bit, you see some prosciutto? There's a whole lot more than that. Follow me right here. This is unbelievable. This is the cave, stacked full of prosciutto. Look at this. And on the top, more salami. This is like heaven. And you think you've seen it all? You haven't seen it all. Check this out. Follow me just a little bit more. One more second. This is the Holy Grail. What do you think of that? Mm-hmm. Laura, I see you have love written on your t-shirt, and I think there's something about you that you really love your job because it really translates to everybody in the group.
True, that is true. I love my job as my passion. I love people, I'm a people person, and I'm just happy when I'm with people around.
And you got a little bit of genius in you too, because she got everybody on the bus to sing.
Oh yes,
in
I
Italian.
love to sing, yes. Even if I'm very bad at it,
yeah.
I just love it. It's fun, it's fun.
There was not a single misstep in this group, in this fun. I mean, Colette's got it totally together with this, and going all the way down to Milko. How about him? Tell me about him. Who's Milko? What does he do for the group?
Milko is an amazing driver. I have to say all Italian drivers are amazing because of the narrow street they have to go through those little winding road, but Milko is excellent.
Oh, he moved all the bags around for the folks?
Yes,
some of the folks brought some pretty big bags and lots of clothes.
But it made him fit.
And the bags got bigger while we were here. Why did the bags keep getting more full all the time?
Oh, I don't know, maybe some shopping around.
Shopping, shopping, shopping. It was beautiful, and you made this whole trip wonderful. I tell you, in the beginning, I never thought I'd go on a trip where I had somebody walking around showing me things and taking me town to town. I don't know if I'd ever do it different. I mean, you sort of transformed me into being a real believer.
Oh, thank you.
You and Colette.
Oh, great, fantastic. Then we will wait for you for the next trip then. Let's plan it.
Get ready to sign up because we're going to do something soon. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
We all love you.
Oh, I love you too. I really love you too. Love.
Well, Danielle, you should be pretty happy over at Canary Travel right now, huh?
I'm very happy. We have such a great group of people here with us.
And you know what, when we started this trip too, nobody knew each other. Just a couple of people, maybe twos and twos and twos. Some people came alone, and boy, they made a lot of friendships and some great discoveries together. I think together is the big key word.
They have. I've heard people talking this whole trip what they're going to do when they get back and how they need to meet and go to dinner and all that kind of stuff, and it's just great to hear.
Yeah, I know. Like, I talked to all the folks over at Canary Travel. I asked them, well, did you get that? Of course we got that together. Well, what about that? Of course it's together. And you guys get all the I's dotted and all the T's crossed. And you know what? Our friends at Colette, you probably know them for a while. Me, this is sort of a new thing for me. I didn't know what to expect or how it was going to be. And here we wrap up the whole thing, and it's like picture perfect.
It is, yes. Couldn't ask for a better ending to a fantastic week.
If you ask for a better ending, you might even get it. Who knows? Because you keep having surprises, and this has been a great trip. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Canary Travel. Well, as they say, all good things must come to an end, and this is going to be a tough one to leave, folks, because it was beautiful. And special thanks to Canary Travel and our friends at Colette. They helped us with our 40 guests travel all throughout Italy. Wonderful food, beautiful sights. It was just fantastic. And if you'd like to have a trip like this, you might want to go to fox8.com and just click on New Day, and you can learn all the ins and outs of a wonderful journey to beautiful Italy. It has been fantastic. As they say here, ciao. I'm David Moss, and see you in the next New Day Cleveland.